Disappearances are unsettling enough. But when the last known words, actions, or writings of the missing suggest something far more disturbing, delusions, paranoia, or even a deliberate vanishing, the mystery takes on a new layer of horror. Tonight, we examine 3 chilling cases where the psychology behind the disappearance is as terrifying as the vanishing itself. In 2014, a cybersecurity analyst named Lucas Teller vanished from his apartment in Austin, Texas. But what he left behind wasn't just an empty home. It was a trail of frantic notes suggesting he was being hunted. Lucas had been acting strangely for weeks. Coworkers said he'd whisper into his sleeves, convinced his devices were compromised. His browser history revealed searches for how to disappear completely, and government tracking implants. Then, one night, his webcam activated automatically, recording him staring at the screen before suddenly whispering, "They're in the system, they can hear me." He was never seen again. But here's the most chilling part. A year later, his sister received an email from an encrypted account, just 2 words, "still running," before it self-deleted. Was Lucas paranoid, or did he truly uncover something that forced him to vanish? In 2008, 24-year-old Sarah Fields disappeared while hiking the Appalachian Trail. Her backpack was found neatly placed near a cliff, but no body was ever recovered. What disturbed investigators most was her diary. Sarah's entries grew increasingly erratic. She wrote about a figure in a red jacket who would appear at dusk, always watching but never speaking. Other hikers reported no such man. Then, on her last entry, day 17, "The man in the red jacket is following me again. I don't think he's human. If I don't come back, look for me in the trees." I saw Sarah the night she vanished. She was standing at the edge of the woods, staring into the dark. Then she just walked in. I called out, but she didn't turn around. To this day, no trace of Sarah has been found, but locals swear that on foggy mornings a figure in a red jacket can be seen, standing just beyond the tree line. In 1991, late-night radio host David Kepler signed off his show with these words, "If you're hearing this, I'm already gone." Then, he vanished mid-broadcast. Investigators found David's notes, pages of rambling about voices in the static, and the ones who speak through the airwaves. But the most disturbing detail? His final broadcast was still transmitting, for 3 days after he disappeared. Was it psychosis, or did David stumble upon a frequency he wasn't meant to hear? The human mind is fragile. Fear, delusion, or something far more sinister can twist reality until the only escape is to vanish. So the next time you hear a whisper in the static, or see a figure just beyond the trees, ask yourself, what if they weren't delusions at all?